Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we talked about Java data types, and actually we have found out there are two types. They are what you call primitive data types and non-primitive data types. On the primitive data type, we discussed about 8 of them. We discussed about Boolean, we discussed about bytes, we discussed about char, short, integer, long, float, and basically we discussed about double. Today we're going to start on a new topic altogether and ask ourselves, what are Java tokens? And on that particular journey, we are going to look at the definition, the types of token, and finally we are going to implement the same. So let us start onto that particular journey and ask actually ourselves, what are these Java tokens? So tokens, actually they are the smallest predefined elements inside a Java program or inside a Java library, and they are identified by a compiler. So actually these are just smallest elements which are found in any Java programming language and identified actually by a compiler. And basically they are used to build Java expressions and Java statements. So they are used for building up expressions and what you call statements. And we have seen that actually in our last section about Java structure, how statements are constructed and what are the rules about them. Also, actually they are used and their meaning and use they identify by a compiler. So they are used, how they are used and how they identify, actually it is the work of a compiler to know about them. Also, the last thing we want to know about them, actually they are stored in what you call Java library. So all Java library, they'll have some of these particular tokens. So on that particular definition, let's see what actually these tokens, what about them. So we are looking at the types of tokens. So if you have got tokens, we know that these particular tokens, basically they are basically 5 types of tokens which are actually supported by Java. So let's see one by one. So the first token which is supported by Java, it is what we call a keyword. The second one is called the identifier. And the third one, it's called the literals. And the fourth one, they are called the operators. And the fifth one, they are what we call the separators. So let's see one by one what they mean and how are they taken up into Java programming. So let's see what are actually the keyword. So when we are talking about keywords, these particular keywords, actually they are special reserve words. So they are special reserve words. So they are reserve word into actually the memory, into actually the Java library, and actually there are around 50 of them, or more than 50 of them, which can be found onto Java library. And basically they are used actually for declaring some methods, some classes, and data types. So these are what you call the keywords. So the second part of it is what you call the identifiers. And what are identifiers? These are names given by a programmer for particular class, a particular method, or a particular variable, and many others. So identifiers, they are given up by a programmer. However, a programmer has to follow a certain rules for actually giving up these identifiers. Number 3 is what you call the literals. So the literals, these are values in Java which do not change. So these are actually, there are values which do not change. So there is no change onto them. And basically when you're talking about literal, this particular literals, they are such as we have seen in a previous lesson, basically the primitive and non-primitive data types. And the fourth part of it is actually what you call the operators. So operators, actually these are predefined symbols which are found, predefined symbols which they are used for logical and mathematical operators. So these are predefined symbols used for logical and mathematical manipulation. This example of them, they are such as what you call arithmetic operators, relational operators, and logical operators, which we are going to discuss them one by one into details. And the last one is what you call the separators. Now, the separators also, they are actually predefined symbols, but their use is a bit different. They are actually used to group or divide code. So also these are predefined symbols, but they are used actually to group or divide code. We have seen most of them, and actually these are what you call the semicolon, what you call the curly bracket, what you call the bracket. So basically those are the type of tokens, and into our next lessons we are going actually to look one by one and see what happens to them. So let us go to our Eclipse and try actually to demonstrate the same. So now we are going to make up a new program, and we are putting up a new class onto this particular project of ours. And remember, the class names, all of them has to start up with a capital letter. So we can give ourselves as the name maybe Java tutorial. So that will be our name, Java tutorial. So you can make it public, you can make it a package, an abstract, or final, or protected. And here we want to generate an automatically. What do we want to generate automatically? Our main method. We can just stick here, it will give us our main method. Or basically, what do you want to do? We want to have it to be inherited. So when we just click any one of these, our program that it is Eclipse will generate for us automatically. So let us do onto that. You can see now it has actually taken us the name Java tutorial, and it has generated automatically our main method, and here basically it's given a command to put up our code up here. So let us put up our code here basically and implement one of them. So already here we have implemented our separators. We have seen that a class starts up with an opening curly bracket and a calling curly bracket, meaning at the beginning and actually the end. And also here we have what you call our main method already with a beginning curly bracket and a closing curly bracket as one of our symbols for separators. And also we have one of the symbols here which is a square bracket, relating to be that this particular symbol means it is an array. We have got opening and curling and closing bracket, meaning this particular one is a function. We are going to discuss them onto more details. So let us look at this and try just to run a few programs. So basically here we want to just to run system.out.println what do we want to print? We just want to say, actually, we are demonstrating types of Java tokens. So you can see already here there is an error because all statement must be terminated, and this is one of the separators which it's used either to group or to divide up a particular program. So let us run this particular program, and actually it tells us demonstrating a type of Java program. So that actually makes the end of this particular topic today, and in our next lessons we are going to take among these 5 separators one by one. So we are going to start up with the keywords into more details. However, don't forget to subscribe onto our next lesson. For now, I say bye.